You can create a client or a prospect for your book of business in one of two ways. Using the Quick Create tool, you can quickly create a client or prospect and fill in only the most necessary information and then click the Create button. If you access the drop-down menu and the Book of Business tab, you'll be presented with the Client Builder, where you can build in a much more detailed profile. Profiles are broken down into sections for personal, health, life, long-term care, and retirement information. Under each section, you'll also find a field to add additional notes. Only two fields are absolutely required to create a client or a prospect, and that is a first and a last name. However, if you fill in additional fields, the system will give you some additional options for other features. The most important one is your address field. This should be a complete geographic address. That's because we're telling Google Maps geolocation services that this is an entire complete address, and we're going to use this for the built-in mapping feature. If you fill in the birth date, your client's age will automatically be calculated. Once you've filled in at least a first and a last name, then we can export this client to the email. We can save them as a prospect, or we can save them as a client. If you choose to fill in Medicare information, you can use the virtual agent feature by clicking the info icon under the health section, or also at the top of the tool. The virtual agent will then give you information that pertains to the Medicare scenario for the information you put in, including things like probing questions, product tips, and warnings. Clicking the Create Client button, or Save as Client, will ask you what day you'd like to schedule a birthday reminder. We can choose the year and we can choose the month, and also the day. This can also be scheduled as an annual reminder. Clicking the Create Client button will give you a progress bar across the top that shows you that the system is creating your client, adding it to the Client Manager, and then scheduling your birthday reminder. Once it's finished, the fact finder will be reset. The client you created will then show up under your Client Manager. By clicking the client's name, you'll open the fact finder again, and here you can edit or fill in any additional information. Clicking the Save Changes button will update the client. You can also access this client's policies or export this client to email. The client can be deleted, and you'll be presented with an option to confirm that deletion or to cancel. Once you have a client in the book, you'll also be able to add tags to this client, which we'll cover in a later video. The Client Manager has some important tools that you should be aware of. One of those is to schedule a task. The other is to add this client to your Google Calendar for an appointment. If you have your Google Calendar connected, you can set a follow-up type, a date, a note, and a time, and when you click the icon to add it to the calendar, all that information will be pre-filled and appear on your Google Calendar. You also have the Show on Map feature, which will bring up your book of business on the map. This is why we filled in the geolocation services address client fact finder. This will display all of your clients and their actual physical location. Clicking on a map marker will give you the necessary information about that client. Your entire book can also be downloaded to a CSV file by clicking the Download Clients button.